everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Stafford's Lions going up against Cousins' Redskins. With kickoff straight ahead, let's check in with the two men who will be calling tonight's game. So we say hello to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Tonight we move on to week 2 of the preseason, and we've got a good matchup here between the Detroit Lions and the Washington Redskins.
Special teams coaches spent a lot of time scheming things up, but this was just a bad return. Now the offense has a long way to go to try to put points on the board.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line, but how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And a Wildcat formation here.
Here we go! Brad 38! Brad 8!
And the gadget package there won't do much for him. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. And a lot of the weight of this offense falls on the shoulders of the running back.
That's because the offense knows if they give him any openings, any opportunities, he can turn it into a big play at any time.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14.
Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! That's the way.
Will still lead to a 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Here's Tressway now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return, and the Lions will take over. They come out here in the eye. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it will be second down. To throw on second down is Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Everyone's got 4 down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Here's Stafford now on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target, and it's 3rd down. All right, let's get a peek at these starters here in the Golden Child. Golden Tate.
Love his versatility because you can use him anywhere in your offense, and he's an excellent kick returner. Loves to play the game, plays with passion.
So a second down incompletion now brings up 3rd down.
85 is coming. 85 is coming.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They come up in an offset eye.
Gun! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now.
Cousins now on second down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down.
319!
On third down, Cousins. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic. So anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Second down, 8.
Tight left. Tight ends left. 4 down. All right, here we go. Alert. Blue 90. Mike's 59. All right, now, lucky 56.
And he motions the wide receiver. Second down, Cousins. He's going to loft one deep. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
So they're on that play. Offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. Look at the big man rumble. Into the end zone. Washington Redskins touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. It's good, and the Redskins take a 7-0 lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They come up in an offset eye. And now here's a carry heading left. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
So the D-line's going to spread out. Stafford, blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Brown not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on third. Back to throw. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a... First and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Yeah, quick throw here, that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll set up a throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. They'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a pickup of 16 there that'll lead to a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but, boy, that was textbook defense, exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Watch 41. Watch 41.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. His throw caught right around the 6. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Patriot! Hurry up, gun!
He'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And some room to work. There he goes, right side. He's at the 50. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see.
Here we go. Tight right. Let's go.
Back to throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now the second-year man from South Dakota State, it's Zach Zenner. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They come out here in the eye. On second down, Washington. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. His throw caught right around the 6. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just come.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Dwayne Washington, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance. To return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you've got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. And the 2-minute warning lurking. This will probably be the last play before we hit it.
Yeah, they want to get themselves in position to score in this last shot before the clock hits.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they get 28 yards on that one. And the Lions are going to have it 1st and goal.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps, and that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Preston Smith with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7. So on fourth down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. This one from 35 yards away. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalposts, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They come up in an offset eye, and they'll run it here. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
4 down. Set. Green 39.
Back to throw now on first down. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And they're going to speed things up here. They're going to look to throw. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
10 yards still left on second down.
Watch left. Tight. Watch left. Detroit. Hurry up. Here we go.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He'll look to throw, and he slings one that's incomplete. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these 2 teams at the break. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Second down following the incompletion.
Come on, let's go! Ohio!
Now back to throw. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That goes for a gain of 31. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there.
Come on!
He'll drop to throw. Rolling to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Everyone's got four down.
They'll look to throw here. Out to his left. That's caught at the 2. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2.
Let's go!
They run. Abdullah. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Amir Abdullah taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken at his 4. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it? And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Their dangerous wide receiver. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. It's only a one-score game, third quarter, mind you, but they're going to go for the onside kick right here. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. I know they're down, but starting the third quarter there with the onside kick, what'd you think?
Well, I think that they're looking at it as we may not have as many possessions in this game as we want. There may be that sense and that feel that they've got to go ahead and make something happen, steal possession, try and steal some points, and get themselves right back in a position to try and win the game.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be second down.
And that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable second and short.
Back to throw here. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up fourth down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds. And they'll spot it right at the 20. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll set up to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's... picked off.
There we go, D. That's the way to hit.
And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away, and that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Let's go.
On the carry, this is Zenner. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They go again now with Zenner. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
We got 4. Let's go. Flex round. Flex round.
They'll set up a throw. And this is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
They want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Back now at FedEx Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Third and 4.
Watch 35. Watch 35. Know your job.
They come out here in the eye. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Escaping the pressure right. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about...
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it?
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. B.J. Goodson in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So the D-line's going to spread out. Looking to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 7 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Their big tight end. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They come out here in the eye. They go back to the air here after the INT. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Tight, watch left. Hey, boys, go.
They'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
I think we can make this one pretty simple. That was a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
Hey, right, Roger.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And no, it's incomplete. Jay Gruden's guys unable to convert on 4th down. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it.
You know, if this is the regular season part, that we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, you got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need... yardage on each snap.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
Check, tight right. Solo out there, check the outs out there.
Now McCoy. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might... be a first down.
Record. Hey, we got tight ends left. 4 down. Now let's go. Check.
Here's McCoy. Looking left side, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice pitch and catch to pick up the reception against man coverage.
Both of them read how much yardage they needed, figured what they had to do, and were able to beat the man coverage for the completion.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone.
Hey, he's coming to you. He's coming to you. Motion. Hey.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
Green, 30. No. Check. Patriots.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible. Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. 28 yards. And the Redskins have made this a 1-score game. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who was open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Here we go.
They'll set up to throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. 2nd down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
Strong left. Come on. Hey, we got 4. We got 4 down. 4 down.
On the give, this is Washington. And he'll get this up to him. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. He's back to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Simple slant route, and partner, a really nice hard throw by the quarterback.
Nice timing between the quarterback and the receiver. They were perfectly in sync, and he put it right on him on the inside route.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game. Although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking their headset off on the sidelines. They don't believe this game is over. The offense has to close this one out by taking care of the football.
They'll try to close it out now. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Second down, 9 yards to go. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they're going to go soft on the corners. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. That one looks like he'll throw here. This is caught inside the 15. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Washington, thanks for watching, and good night, everybody.